Welcome to Megapath Presents. I'm Ronnie Hayes, and today let's talk about some more Walking Dead news. Now, this is just a little bit of tidbit of information, just a tiny bit. San Diego Comic-Con is just starting 2018, so we are going to have a lot to discuss around The Walking Dead and a lot of other things. So I'm going to try to pick out some of the things that interest me most. If you guys got other ideas, try to find me on Twitter at Ronnie Hayes and shoot me some ideas of things you see that looks interesting, because I might miss some things. Anyway, leading up to the trailer for The Walking Dead Season 9, which is probably the most exciting thing to look forward to, that comes out this Friday, we got a couple pieces of information. Now, this is coming from the Walking Dead comic book universe. So this is coming from Robert Kirkman and Skybound, not AMC and not the AMC Walking Dead universe, because there's two different ones. This is a virtual reality video game that's going to be coming out in 2019, and it has a lot of promise. Now, I love virtual reality. I also love 3D. I don't find them as gimmicky. I feel like there's definitely a way to utilize those and, make the entertainment suited for that purpose more enjoyable. Now, this has just a tiny bit of information, but it says Sundance Interactive, and we discussed this in a video a few months ago when they first announced it, but they are coming out with a video game titled The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners, the first VR game set in the Walking Dead universe. Again, this is the comic book universe. I know AMC had that one game that failed notoriously with Daryl Dixon. This is not the same people whatsoever, and it is in the comic universe, and it most likely, if it does well, like The Walking Dead by Telltale, it will be canon, most likely. Anyway, the developer will be working on The Walking Dead with creator Robert Kirkman and his company Skybound Entertainment throughout development, and plan to share a teaser during San Diego Comic-Con's live stream on July 19th. Set in the flooded remains of New Orleans, the virtual reality game will challenge players to make their way through iconic quarters as they explore what has become a brutal, unforgiving wasteland. As well as dealing with the ever-present threat of walkers, Sundance states undead will be the least of your problems. So not only will you struggle to survive against the undead and other survivors, you also need to decide whether to live as a saint or a sinner. Again, if you're keeping up with these stuff coming out in San Diego Comic-Con, during the live stream, I guess we're getting a teaser for Saints and Sinners, this Walking Dead virtual reality game. I'm actually excited about this. I can't wait. So, moving on. Let's do this bit of news here. Dan Fogler. Now, right away, he's one of those actors where I recognize the face immediately. I can't really pick out what movies I recognize him from. You can see a couple images down here, but I recognize them immediately. And casting news has come out that he has been cast for The Walking Dead Season 9. When I seen him, I thought right away he has to do with the helicopter. I don't think this is the type of actor you would get to just put off to the side at one of the communities we have already established. This feels like a character or a character actor that would be brought in for something that is new and different and an original part of the story. So we have no news at all or information as to what part he will play. I'm just guessing that that makes a little bit more sense. Now, keep in mind, they could throw us a curveball and he could be in Magna's group. They've already released some casting information about Magna's group. As a matter of fact, a lot of people thought it was interesting that the one lady cast as, is it Connie? I believe it is the character of Connie. The actor is actually deaf in real life, so the character obviously will be a deaf character in the show. I read that in the article and it slipped my mind, so apologies on that when I did that piece, but a lot of fans thought that was an interesting thing to bring to that character. So, Dan Fogler, are you a fan, and what do you think his role is going to be in The Walking Dead Season 9? The next bit of news, and this is for the horror gore fans out there, this is CREEPSHOW is coming back thanks to The Walking Dead's Greg Nicotero. Now, this isn't directly connected to The Walking Dead. However, I've been getting a few comments wondering if, since there's so many rumors about The Walking Dead just falling apart, and yeah, to some fans, that's what it seems like. Andrew Lincoln is leaving. Maggie is leaving. Hey, Michonne might be leaving. She's getting all these movie roles. And now Greg Nicotero is heading his own project. I know, it seems like everything's crumbling down, but keep in mind, Greg Nicotero, when you say the man, he runs his own company. He's got people underneath him. He's even got his own crew that he sends over to Fear the Walking Dead set, and they do their thing. I'm sure he doesn't make it over there for every single thing they does. He has his own crew. So even though, yes, it's him, it's his company doing the effects on Fear the Walking Dead, on The Walking Dead, he doesn't have to be present for everything. So I imagine some of his time will now be dedicated to the Creepshow. I could be totally wrong. He could be on his way out of The Walking Dead, but I think that's just that there's nothing to even. I wouldn't even go there yet, okay? I wouldn't even go there, but I know some fans are already going in that direction. I think this is yet another project that he is bringing on that he can do alongside The Walking Dead. Yes, it means he's going to be, I believe, he's going to direct a little, he's going to supervise, and he's also going to be a producer. Let me see if it says here. In a release to horror streaming service. Okay, it's coming out on Shudder. Right away, I don't like that. I don't like having all these different services, to be honest. I don't know. I think there's just too many of them, This is something I'm definitely, as a horror fan, I definitely want to check out. I've been meaning to subscribe or check out Shudder. I keep seeing ads for it. What rubs me the wrong way is having so many different services every month. I got $5 going to this one. I got $10 going to this one. I got YouTube Red or HBO and Netflix, and I don't know. But if you have Shudder, let me know. I feel like, or I hear things about it like it's Netflix, but only horror movies. So I will check it out. But this looks like it's going to be on Shudder, and it says, wow, Shudder's actually owned by AMC. I did not know that either. In a release from horror streaming service Shudder, owned by AMC, today, Greg Nicotero said, "Creepshow is a project very close to my heart. It is one of those titles that embraces the true spirit of horror, thrills, and chills, celebrated in one of its truest art forms, the comic book come to life. I'm honored to continue the tradition in the spirit in which it was created. Each episode of the anthology series will have a different director." I think he is probably one of the perfect people for this gig, to be honest. I mean, he's absolutely right in what he's saying here. Nicotero, who visited the set of the original film back in the day, will be taking on a lot of the new series, serving as director, executive producer, as well as supervising the show's creative elements. Let me see. He's, of course, a master makeups, effects artist, having worked on Romero's. Let me see if there's any. I knew there was something else I wanted to bring up. All right, the original Creepshow went on to spawn 2 sequels as well as a comic series illustrated by Bernie Wright. It doesn't look like there's any other information about when it's coming out exactly, but I want to use this time to ask you guys, what do you think of Shudder exactly if you are subscribed to that service? As a horror fan, how do you feel about it? With this channel, mainly focused on the sci-fi horror genre, and we'll probably be there until we expand for a little bit. This might be something I personally should check out and see what else is on this platform here, Shudder. So, leave your thoughts and opinions. What do you think about Greg Nicotero resurrecting Creepshow? What do you think about Dan Fogler coming to The Walking Dead Season 9? And how do you feel about the virtual reality Walking Dead game, Saints and Sinners? I'm excited about pretty much all of it. So put your thoughts and opinions in the comment box. I'm done talking. It's your turn.